Okay, just try to do your best to... Don't, like, kiss it like last time. Just kind of do your best to... Yeah, no, don't. Okay, don't...
You gotta stimulate the clitoris.
Don't do that.
Maximal.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 55 of Break Time. I'm Alex.
I am Eman.
And I am Ethan.
And thank you very much for tuning in to this very Labor Day episode of Break Time. I didn't realize it was coming out on Labor Day.
Yeah.
I just realized it was going to come out on Labor Day. Anyway, but guys, before we get started, like always, you can go to the link in the you can go to the description and you can see timestamps for all the different conversations that we have. In case you want to skip around here a specific topic, or maybe the title of the video is clickbaity and you want to get to that part, you can go there and you can do that. There's also a link to the Teespring store if you want to support the podcast in that way. Eman,
What's going on, man?
how you doing today, man?
I've been all right, man. I've been all right. I'm actually fighting a cold. So today,
I could tell.
the
just by
past
talking to you on the
72
phone.
hours, I'm not
I thought it was all
doing
the
too
dicky
good
sex.
in that department.
Fuck.
It could be.
Fuck.
It could be. But I'm gonna chalk it up to the cold. So I've been fighting that, man, and just been working.
It's funny because a lot of people I feel like had that the last like 2-3 days.
Well, I got it from Emery, dog.
Oh, she was sick?
Yeah, man. Emery was sick. Got everybody else in the house sick. So
What a bitch.
truly, now. So now I'm fighting the cold, and that's been my life for the past 72 hours.
Definitely.
Ethan and I had an experience yesterday that we'll get into, but
Yeah. Well, real quick, Eman did mention something, and we always have guests. When we have guests, we want to give them a big introduction, let you know that they're here. So the person that we have here on the podcast today is someone who's really great, someone I've known for a little bit now, someone who always has something really awesome to say. Really funny guy, did stand up with him and everything. And Eman, thank you for being on the podcast today.
Good to be here, man. Good to be. Like I said, I'm fighting this cold, but I got with Dr. Augustus, got some shit, so I'm good to go for the next few hours, man.
But also someone who is also all of those things is our boy here, Ethan. How you doing, Ethan?
I'm doing very well, man. Thanks for asking.
Question, did you see that coming?
To be honest with you, after all the episodes I've watched of Break Time Podcast, the last time I've been on this podcast, it still caught me by surprise.
Wow, good. I was going to say this fucking homework. We lost the backdrop.
I was like, what?
We lost the backdrop.
Fuck, we didn't even show people I don't even know if they can see it in the thing.
They could have. I mean, fuck it. Fuck it.
Either
people.
way, I'll put it on screen at the beginning or some shit.
Yeah.
It'll be there. But yeah, so we have Ethan on. Ethan, how do we know you? And for people who may not have seen the last episode with you on.
Well, I guess to catch everybody up, I met Eman through Best Buy. I used to work at a job as a retail salesman for a company called Vivint. And, we met through that way. He worked also at Best Buy for Best Buy. So we worked in partnership sometimes when it came down to making sales. And then I actually met Alex in the same setting. He came in on one of my last couple of days working at Best Buy with Vivint. And, we kind of met together in the do-it-yourself smart home technology aisle. Hit it off really well. Ever since then, we've been pretty good friends. So that's pretty much how.
Oh yeah, and we also did stand up with you.
Indeed,
Yeah.
When we did stand up, and we have none of us have done stand up again since then.
No,
Yeah,
I did.
We always. Oh, did you? When did you go?
The showcase.
Oh, the showcase. The
Yeah.
showcase. I remember that.
Eman
Yeah.
actually got chose. He was so good. He was chosen to
Yeah,
actually perform
and then
on
he
the big
almost
stage.
didn't fucking do it.
Yeah. We both had to talk him
bullshit.
into
Oh, you
Yeah.
didn't
his
fucking
life
talk me
together.
into it?
We talked while I was at the gym.
Well, you didn't talk me into it.
Whatever, bro.
You can't even say
Okay. What else did you want to say?
I almost came close to not doing it, bro. I let my nerves get the best of me, dude. But yeah, I mean,
Who talked you into doing it?
This
You
wine
did.
tastes weird.
yeah, fuck.
Does it? Let me taste it.
Well, it's because I tasted it with the.
It has a
here,
kick.
Drink Eman drink from the other side. We don't want to get you sick. But
Thanks, buddy.
yeah, it's because I had
is weird.
Well, I had Paul Masson in here
Okay.
before, so it might be
That's
mixed
probably
up with
fucking
the
what
other
it is, bro.
alcohol.
Ugh,
Goodness.
that's fucking. And I also had Monster, so my taste buds are also all fucked up.
Nice little
Perfect.
monster never hurt nobody, man.
Oh hell yeah! So, guys, as we normally do, want to catch everybody up on what we've been up to. Kind of a weekly recap is what we call it. Eman, what have you been doing? I mean, I know saying you were battling a cold. Anything else happened this week that was of note?
Battling a cold. I think after the last podcast was released, I went rock climbing again. So I did that. Fucked up my hands, but I mean, it comes with the territory. It was just right here. It's pretty much healed by now.
Oh, I get you.
Boo-boos
Oh,
there
I
and
get
shit.
you. You getting calluses and shit?
Yeah, of course, but
Or blisters.
yeah, a lot of shit, man.
Blisters.
yesterday, I'm gonna give my perspective real quick. I want Ethan to give his after, but yesterday, I had the fortune of being scheduled Saturday off. Saturday's yesterday. Well, it's relative to now. Saturday's yesterday. My boss Sylvia was fortunate enough to give Ethan and I the that day off because it was going to be his last day at the job because he's doing some shit. We'll get into that later. So Ethan and I had the conversation. Yo, let's get into some shit. Let's go do something. Let's have a story to tell. It's both of we're going to be off that day. Probably our last day to really spend the day together, man. Let's do some shit.
And Sylvia's really conniving, so it's pretty cool that she actually gave us the
Oh
day.
gosh, she doesn't watch this, bro.
You know, well,
Well,
she's a nice lady.
You didn't say anything bad though. He's the one.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to work there.
And
He can
she's
say
super
whatever he wants.
nice.
Truly.
She's super nice, but she
Right.
just can be passive aggressive.
Yeah, smoking mirrors.
Intensively. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we're like, hey man, you've been talking about this fucking government canyon place. Let's go for a solid hike. A certified fucking hike.
I saw that on Instagram. Yeah.
So me, whenever I go hiking, I usually put in 3 to 5 miles, right? That was my intent going there. I get with Ethan the day of. He's like, yo, let's look at the route. I look at the route. Okay, looking at 9-8 miles at most, right?
Truth be told, we didn't really look and calculate actually
We
how
didn't.
many miles. We kind of just picked the
Yeah.
routes and went.
It was everything was on a whim, which is where we
Yeah.
fucked up, and we didn't really do any math.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we're out there, man, and
I like this shirt, bro.
oh, I appreciate. Damn,
like cashmere?
It's a fucking grandpa shirt that you actually
I
like.
was looking at that right now because I was like, I dig like the design and the
Yeah.
fucking like the fucking what is this?
Material, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of material it is. I didn't even look
But
at
it's
it.
great. Like
I appreciate
want to
that
cuddle
shit,
up in that.
dude.
Want you to
Yeah,
hug me
man.
while you're wearing it.
Embracing my Cubana ancestry with this shirt on, dude.
Sorry, go ahead.
But so we're out there, man, and we started off like any other fucking casual hike, dude. Sipping water, deep intellectual conversation, taking in nature. It was fucking dope. That was the apex of the adventure, right? The start off was the best we felt. But as we went on, man, shit got worse and worse. And here's why. We didn't do 1 mile. We didn't do 5 miles. We didn't do 10 miles.
Shirley did 12 miles.
Nah, not 12.
13 miles?
Did we do 13?
So we, technically speaking, we did 13,
Oh,
but
so
we
we
did
did
13.
more than 13.
But yeah, we surpassed
okay,
that
hey.
number, definitely.
15.
15
15 miles. Cap. 15 miles.
Is
What
that
you
less
did?
than? No, we didn't. I mean, we did that again, but we definitely surpassed.
How many did you do?
God, dude, what's that number that rhymes with? I can't think of anything that rhymes with
Fendi one, Fendi fun,
Fendi fun?
That's no Fendi.
21. 21 fucking miles.
Fendi.
But mind you, like Dr. Seuss over here, mind you, bro. Like I said,
Going on a run with
I
Fendi
prefer
Fun.
Mark Twain.
okay, Mark Twain. Like I said, I packed enough water for 5 miles at most. He packed enough water for a solid 9.
Yeah.
We did 21 fucking miles.
On
So
accident.
at mile 9, we're completely out
When
of
did you get
water.
sick? Were you sick already yesterday?
I was already sick, dude.
Oh, fuck.
I taxed the
and you
fuck
know it
out
got
of my
worse
body.
because you
Yeah.
fucked your immune system
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean, I put so much stress on my fucking body yesterday, bro. I had a cold, hiked 21 miles, got really fucking dehydrated, almost fucking passed out of heat exhaustion, and fasted the whole day because when I got home, I just had no appetite.
And then you died.
Yeah, you're speaking to my ghost.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're documenting
Did your ghost
this.
come with new balls?
Hopefully, man.
But you actually sounded better yesterday than you do today, so
Yeah.
it makes total sense.
Callback. Break time. Episode 52. Anyway.
I guess my body was so focused on not dying, it said, fuck the cold, we're going to surpass the symptoms. But it just hit me today, dude. But, yeah, so at mile 9, we're completely out of water, and that's half the hike. So we now have a 3-hour treacherous hike back to the parking lot, and we almost fucking die. Ethan and I were about to turn on each other. Luckily, it was the last mile. Fucking fight to the death. I probably would have lost.
Did y'all ever get to that point where like it's two dudes, y'all are hot, y'all are annoyed, y'all aren't drinking any water? Did y'all get to
Yeah,
that
we
point?
fucked, bro. We
Yeah, y'all
fucked.
fucked.
We fucked, bro.
I was saying, did y'all get to that point where you're like, this is fucking your fault, you fucking idiot?
What's crazy is we almost did get to that point.
We
We
almost
really
did.
almost hit the brink of like, dude,
almost
shut your
did.
mouth, like just shut the fuck up, like, stop talking to me, like it's your fault, you didn't bring enough water.
Because I had so much fucking, because he had been there, right? And he had told me about it. So in my mind, it wasn't even his fault because shit, the last couple hours I had chose that trail. So if anything, it was my fucking fault. I just needed something to be mad at, bro. So when I realized I wasn't mad at
Some of your
him,
energy source.
right? I was just mad at the fucking trail, dude, because the trail there was no fucking shade.
None, bro. Not
it
that
wasn't
last
even
4 mile
scenic.
hike.
So you couldn't even take a last nice view in before you die. It wasn't even fucking scenic, bro.
Nothing.
I kept telling him I felt like I was in fucking Afghanistan. It was just really whack. There was nothing, dude.
Treacherous rocks, trying to break our ankles the entire time, tear ligaments.
6 hours. 6 hours. 3 of those hours spent with no water. At noon, the hottest part of the fucking day. It was tough.
Yeah, from 9 to 3:15 roughly was the hiking, start to end time.
Yeah.
But do you feel like that helps you out with what you're going into now?
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely. We'll get into that here in a second. But Ethan, what's your week been like besides that?
Of course. So it was my last week at the vitamin shop, which was awesome. I love working.
I can't
there.
wait for the part where we tell people like where you're going, because right now everybody thinks because you got shorter hair, they're like, Ethan has cancer, he's gonna die.
This is the truth. We're talking about me going to the afterlife, so that's
shit.
whatever. We're just getting prepared.
Yeah.
You'll be really welcoming of it. But I went to so my last week at the vitamin shop, it was great. It was probably my best week besides my first week there, because all the knowledge that I've gained over the 3 months that I've worked there was actually pretty awesome and useful in a lot of different factors of my life, and it kind of taught me a little bit about my health. I lost 50 pounds while I was working there, which I'm grateful for. But the reason I enjoyed my last week so much was because I knew it was my last week.
Truly.
And I didn't have to deal with a certain amount of
Was it kind of like one of those like you can slack off a little bit, or you don't gotta be
Yeah,
perfect?
I didn't even notice you slack,
and
honestly.
I work pretty hard on accident most of the time, so it's like my last 2 days really is when I slacked off.
Ethan sneezes and went, "Fuck! I just restocked the vitamin B aisle."
Yeah, that's
on
how it
accident.
gets down, dude.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. I definitely enjoyed my time at the vitamin shop. That was kind of like half my week. I worked out a whole lot. I did have a PT, a swimming physical training, which was awesome. I usually swim after every workout, and they do about 500 yards or so. This training that I did this last week was a little bit higher. I did about 1,000 yards of swimming, which was cool. I've never done that much before, swimming wise, and I'm just enjoying my time getting everything set up. So I guess that will.
Yeah.
We can still wait to get into it, but
Before you pass over.
Yeah,
You just hit me, man. You fucking swam 10 football fields.
Indeed, yeah, 10 football fields.
That is ridiculous.
And meters are a little bit longer than yards, and so technically it was meters. I just have a habit of
okay.
saying yards, so I swam a little bit more than I
damn,
think
dude.
I did. In between, I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, air squats, flutter kicks, so it was a good workout. I'm one of the more experienced swimmers of the people that I swim with. And with that being said, we went hiking yesterday. It was a good time. We don't have to re-go over it, but I would like to say...
Oh, fuck that. Get into your perspective,
I would
man.
I would just like to say that we didn't plan at all how many miles we were going to hike. You know, I had an idea in my head because I've been there before. There's a famous cave that's up there that holds an endangered spider species, or arachne, I guess, for proper terms. But we actually didn't see the cave. We went down the cave trail, but I'm assuming they hide it from people because they don't want us fucking up the ecosystem too much.
Right.
But again, we didn't count how many miles it was gonna be on these trails. We just said, okay, we're gonna go ahead and do this one that wraps around to the very top of the park, on the brink of the park, and then we're gonna go hike all the way back down and around to the other side, and we'll just do that. And so after calculating we calculated after we finished the whole hike, but we're on mile 18, and Eman does a video input, right? And he's like, yeah, so we're at a mile 14 and a half now, fucking dehydrated. He's like, how do you feel? So we go through this whole thing, and it turns out at that point we're actually at like 18 and a half miles, not 14 and a half. And we ran out of water probably about so we didn't, to better perspective, we didn't have any water for the last like 2.5 hours of the hike. So, and that was peak time for
no
the sun.
Altoids either?
Nothing. No Altoids.
Remember that?
What? Oh, what?
Oh, that fucking truck.
Hey, we did have a ginger chew though.
We had a fucking ginger chew,
Eman had a
yes.
ginger chew. Mine
I couldn't finish it, man. I was
Yeah.
sick, so I was getting nauseous, dude.
My shit was it was bad. We had a couple encounters with some insects that weren't awesome. They were okay.
Let me tell that fucking story,
some,
man.
Yeah, some bees. Well, you could tell you could tell about the little black
real
bug.
quick, because obviously we're just gonna end up getting into everything real quick.
Right, yeah,
Let me
yeah.
recap my week.
Yeah,
week
please.
real
Sorry.
quick.
Please, go
I'm
ahead,
sorry,
Alex.
dude.
I did nothing. Go ahead.
Bro, that's it? That's it?
me and my girl had to dog sit for her family.
Yeah.
Because they were out of town. They went on like a trip. And then after that, we went into immediately another thing where she had to dog sit for someone else.
Yeah.
And then that was a whole kerfuckle thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too into it right now because I want to get into this.
Yeah.
But if we have time later, I'll get into it. But essentially, that's all I did. I did that and worked. And yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the show though, about the podcast.
As have I, man.
Yeah.
I always am.
Yeah, like I think there's more stuff that we can be doing, and also I'm trying to figure out why the fuck we had such a big ass drop off, because we were getting like 100 to 150 views.
Right.
Like for like if you go back and look at all of our videos, Ethan, there was a point where we were getting like a really good amount of listeners, and our watch time was really high. Like we were getting like 30, like on average 30 minutes. Yeah. So on average, people were listening to over half 50, the podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty good.
And yeah, which is great. So that was great. But like recently, like our views are like stagnating, like at 40 something.
I mean, but you know what, man? We're building an empire, dude. And if you look at a chart of the way that every empire is built, there's peaks and valleys. You know what I mean?
Bro, we need to revisit the Los Henrys thing at some point
and study that fucking episode, man.
No. I mean, like,
just revisit the topic.
We need to. No, I really want to like watch that show again.
Yeah. And
watch that episode again and figure out how those things correlate, or if people just like to shit on the Los Henrys or some shit. Dude, in the last month, we've gotten over 200 views on that video.
You saw the text I sent you,
yeah,
right?
no, and that's why I looked into it.
So how the fuck do we get?
Yeah. Anyway, but
I mean, okay,
yeah, no, we'll get into that another time.
Behind the scenes shit.
But Eman, what happened? What's this bug shit y'all were talking about?
God, so we're really not putting into perspective how fucking tough yesterday was.
Yeah.
I legit thought I was gonna die of heat exhaustion, which I found out in the past 2 months had happened 16 times to people. So it's a very common cause. I'd have been another fucking statistic. But one fucking memory, dude, sticks out in my mind.
What would I do if you died?
What'd you do?
Yeah.
You would carry on, man. You're a bad motherfucking dog, as I would, but...
Yeah.
Well, what would you do? We should ask you. What would you do if Eman died? I mean, obviously, you gotta keep filming the podcast. You know,
yeah, I
find somebody who replaces him, which won't
because the views go up exponentially.
Don't be too hard.
Okay. Wait, what did you say?
I
fucking
find someone to replace.
I can get a nice cardboard box, and it'll be just as good. No,
just as much personality.
We'll get Imrian here, bro, and she'll be fine. She'll stay in your place.
The same intellectual capacity.
Honestly, bro.
What's up?
I think if Ethan wasn't gone, I'd probably ask him to be on the podcast.
Really?
Maybe like not regular, because I don't think anybody could totally replace you. But I'd be like Ethan these 2 weeks, and then someone else these 2 weeks, or something.
Okay.
Just because I think like out of all the people we've had on, Ethan and Robert would be like in my head to have back like
solid.
Robert was cool, man. I watched that podcast.
He was super dope.
Dude.
Super cool guy.
I love the brutal honesty.
Yeah, and my thing is like there are a lot of people. Go watch any of the interviews that we've ever done or any guests we've always had. They have to warm up, and normally at like the 20-30 minute mark, they're good and we're having a full conversation. Yeah, you and Robert are the only two people we've had on where I don't think there was any warming up.
We can say Tyler as well.
No, even Tyler I think had to get kind of comfortable because I went back and I watched this episode because I thought about him too, and you could tell towards the end he's definitely more open than
start.
But anyway, I'd probably do that, and then I'd figure out if your parents would let me continue to film here.
To the room?
Yeah. Over.
Yeah.
My dad would fucking celebrate and turn this fucking room into a bowling alley.
Yeah, a little man cave for himself.
I'd probably start paying your dad like a rent to use this room for the podcast. Just to maintain, like
leave everything as
just like don't fucking touch it. So Iman is always here.
Yeah, man.
God, I don't want to talk about what's gonna happen if you die.
Yeah, we start getting all beautiful.
Too much energy into this, bro. I'm gonna fucking walk outside and get shot, man. JFK style, dude.
Actually, it wouldn't be so bad if you.
The fucking you're fucking dying.
He's ready to go, man. He's been waiting for that one.
Go up, views.
All right, got no use for this knife anymore. That joke's done. But
bought it for that purpose.
Been carrying that shit since 6th grade. But dude,
no.
So this is a little bit after we hit the downfall. Mm-hmm. So this is just more shit to the pile. So we get into
start before, or did we? No, you're right, because we hit the wasp section
Sounds like a terrible video game.
It was an
like
exhibit.
so the cave. What he's talking about is we hit the Cave Creek Trail, just for name dropping. We hit the Cave Creek Trail, which is supposed to be where the spider cave is.
Yeah.
And then Eman encounters this harassment, right? But so there was 2 different harassments that we ran into.
Racist bugs.
Yeah, very.
Harvey Weinstein, dude, was in the fucking bushes, man.
Just egotistical.
Somebody like, let me see that
power,
ass.
Power worshipped. Yeah. So
tell
them both. You can tell them both. Tell them about the other one that singled you out, and then go ahead and tell them about the wasps too.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you mean. We got him and his buddies.
The standoff. Yeah,
oh yes. So we get to the spider exhibit of the trail, right, where this endangered spider is supposed to be. We had planned on doing some digging to find that fucking trail, but at this point, the delusion that set in, or delirium that set in, we were just like, fuck it, man, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Still had 3 hours to go, but I mean, we had to get the fuck out of here.
At least 3 hours,
yeah. And so we're now in the pit of this dried up lake bed or riverbed, creek. And it's just surrounded by thick ass brush on the side, and it's this deep creek with fucking just rocks and dirt, and a perfect place for crazy ass insects to breed, much less an endangered spider. And so I'm walking, dude, and I'm walking in this fucking creek, and for the last, I'd say 15 minutes, something's been bothering me. It's like a pin and needle type feel in my fucking back. But I say, fuck it. I'm falling apart. My whole body aches. Fuck a little prickly sensation on my back.
Is that how long he was fucking with you?
It was a solid minute, my friend.
Oh my gosh.
It was a solid minute. I was focused on
my
cramping hamstrings.
That was okay.
If you want to call it that, I call it a fucking demon.
Yeah.
But we're walking, and Ethan and I, we try to keep the vibe going to offset the panic by getting into some existentialism, some deep conversation.
Oh, perfect. So not only are you exhausting your body, you want to exhaust your mind and just fucking die?
Truly. Well, even better, focus on fucking
shit, the first 2.5 hours, we done went through every topic and thought and, that we could muster. You know what I mean?
Truly, we did. So we're walking, and we're like, yeah, man, I think if we just take a second and try to, realize the concept of reality, there's ow, man, something fucking biting my back. I'm thinking this shit. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, that's a good point, man, because the solar system, the way it works is... fuck is on my back? Yeah, man, but hey, yo, Ethan.
Yeah.
This long striped motherfucker is 6'8". He's 10 feet ahead of me. I say, yo, Ethan, hey, man, is that something on my fucking back? And so I turn around, and he's like, hey, man, let me see. So this motherfucker, I'm like, oh, this is a tough guy. If there's something on my back, he has my fucking back. It's all good. I got nothing to worry about.
Damn right, I got that bug.
to worry about. He got a little fucking bug, right? So I roll my shirt up, bro, and I'm slowly rolling it up. And, I mean...
Can you demonstrate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay $5.
Good demonstration.
Pay $5 so that the clip ends, right? If you want to see more, pay...
Yeah.
Get our premium
see
Snapchat.
more, go to breaktime.com.
Oh, truly,
Get a premium subscription. No.
We got really desperate, start doing porn and shit.
Oh, God.
Become a patron.
Oh, go to our Patreon.
But I roll my shit up, slowly roll it up, inch by inch by inch. And as I'm rolling it up, Ethan says he notices
you make it sound so sensual.
A little, truly, right? We had sex in the fucking creek bed, dude. It was amazing.
Well, we're two attractive guys. It's sensual no matter what. So that's a given. We don't have to try.
Truly. Roll it up, bro, inch by inch. And Ethan says, as I roll it up, bro, a fucking black something appears on my back. Right, an object.
I'll describe so it was almost like a flower that hadn't bloomed, like a bulb, like it's still in the bulb shape, and it was about an inch, in lengthwise, and it was black and gray, right, and it's just sitting right between his shoulder blades, right on his spine, right on his shirt that he was wearing, and as he rolls it up, I go, oh shit! He's like, what? And I take off running.
You fucking lucky asshole! Lucky you left me.
So look, the bottom line is I did leave his ass. Why I left was because as he's rolling the shirt up, he rolls to where the bug is actually sitting on the shirt, and as he hits the bug, it flies off of his back. So
towards you.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
So
it's a fucking rogue bug now at this point.
So at this point, I'm like,
wait, so do y'all not know what this bug was?
No, we don't know. We still wouldn't know.
Oh my God, that's
big ass fucking
Are you sure
bug.
you're not gonna die?
It bites though.
I was a little nervous, dude.
It definitely was biting his back. You know what I mean? We checked. There's no bug bites, which is okay.
Yeah.
But and then I take off running, and he gets pissed off, and he's like, hey man, what the fuck, man? Hey, hold on a second. What are you running for, man? Get this shit off my back. And I'm fucking 20 feet down the riverbed, and I'm like, no, it's gone already, man. It's gone.
Did it have wings?
Yeah, it did. It's like a little. It looked like a moth, but it wasn't a moth, man. It was more definitive.
Yeah,
it
pull
wasn't.
that shit up, man. Say native Texas bug.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
Oh,
Oh,
we don't have
fuck! You
fucking
know Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Wait, don't you just have service?
Let me see.
I'm really thinking it was like a species of fly, man. Because if it was biting you and left no trace, you know. Because we encountered that a couple more times, man. You know, so you know, so the next part is that we get down to like the end of or a section off of that trail, and the same type of bug comes back around and lands on my kneecap.
Did it look like a bee?
It did, right?
Kind of, bro. Not as much.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just seeing what I can find. Y'all keep talking.
Bro.
Y'all keep talking.
Well, it landed on my kneecap, and Eman, you know, we get to a map, we figure out where we are in a little bench, and he's like, you know, so we sit down. He sits on the bench. He's like, well, go ahead, man, get you some shade, man. So I sit down, and as I begin to enjoy the slight break I get from the sun's, you know, relentless shining on me, beating down on us.
He's sunburned. He's sunburned as fuck. I don't know if you can tell.
It actually looked fairly simple. The wings were more darkened than that, though. To be honest with you.
Oh wow, it did look like that.
It looked like
bro.
that if the wings were a little bit darker. Almost like go to that next one actually. That actually, like if it was like solid, if it was solid black, that's what it looked
That
like.
was eating me alive.
Bro, real shit though. And so
man.
the bug actually.
So this is the bug.
Fairly close to it.
Really?
I can't say that
Let me
that's
see
the
if there's
bug,
anything
but
else.
it looks pretty damn close to it. Actually, go back. Oh, is that? Go back.
It was a
bro.
fucking
I
black
think
wasp.
It's that one, bro.
Oh shit! It was
Bro,
a fucking wasp.
It was either that or that one, bro. I know. I've read about those bugs. I've been camping a
So
few times.
this is, you're pretty sure it's this.
Yeah, they don't sting, but they bite, and they're called they're called mud bugs or something like that. They make those mud hives. Dude,
oh wow,
yeah.
dirt divers or some shit, right?
That's what it was. Yeah, bro.
Am I gonna get fucking parasites
that's
from that
crazy.
fucking thing?
But they bite, bro.
Oh
They
no,
don't-
bro.
they don't-
I'm looking right now, and I'll let you know as soon as but y'all keep up. Let's.
Basically what had happened was it had bit my kneecap, and you know, right as I'm enjoying my fucking shade. So we're like, fuck it, let's make a decision. Which trail are we going down? We go down the next trail. So then we go down the next trail. As we're reaching towards the very end of our last like 2 miles on the hiking experience, featuring Eman and Ethan. We get down and you know we're facing almost, you know, utter destruction of each other's, you know, egos, our soul, everything's just falling apart, man. Now at this point I'm freaking out as not an experienced hiker, but just someone who's hiked many times
on that trail.
I'm freaking out now. And at this point, we're both dehydrated. You know, they say you can test how dehydrated you are through spit, and you know, if we both spit, it's like white foam. We get to the last mile and a half of our trail, and I'm like, man, Eman, this fucking bug's fucking with my calves, man. What are you talking about, bro? I'm like, this fucking won't leave me alone, man. Watch out, bro. And so I started.
Where was this hiking?
Government Canyon.
Government Canyon.
And you know, so we start getting
In town or out of town?
In town by Helotes.
Yeah.
Okay.
South of Helotes, and you know, so we I'm like, man, this won't fucking leave me alone, you know. So I start running. I'm like, man, I don't got energy for this shit, bro. I can't even run for more than 5 feet without stopping. And so, but I get ahead of Eman though, which is kind of fucked up because then it starts fucking with Eman, and it starts swarming his. I'm like, dude, it's on your ankles, bro. It's on your ankles. So he takes his shirt off. He's trying to swat it away, and I'm like, yo, give me the shirt, bro. Give me the shirt.
So you kept feeling. Sorry, I don't know if y'all.
That's fine.
So you kept feeling this bug like biting you, like stinging you.
Yeah, it was like biting me.
Yeah.
And as soon as he flipped it out of the shirt, it took off.
Yes.
So if it is this bug that Ethan identified right now, it's I don't know. It says it's in Texas, but it says Denton County. Oh no, this is where this person found it. Sorry. So it says that these are solitary wasps in the family of Crabronidae. I can't fucking say that. Anyway, they prey on grasshoppers and crickets. Each female digs her own nest burrow. It's not aggressive towards people or pets. The only way to get stung is to physically grab a female. Males don't have a stinger. Or step on one with your bare feet. So they're not going to attack you. So what could have happened is I'm spitting. Somehow it could have gotten stuck in your shirt, and that's why it kept stinging you like that. Because it was trying to get out. If that's the case, if this is that bug, that's what makes sense. But it also shows that like there's nothing on here that's like gonna... apparently, like, you're not gonna fucking die. It's just
poisonous.
I wasn't even too worried about that. I was more worried about the heat exhaustion.
I would have been more worried about the fucking bug, to be honest with you.
We were, man.
If you were there, bro.
At that point,
that's true.
The heat exhaustion.
Y'all were at the point where y'all were like, I'll worry about the bug killing me if I don't die from heat exhaustion.
Right. I was like, good, the bug baby. Maybe I'll die sooner in this bitch.
shit.
So the last encounter we had with it's fucking around with Eman. Excuse me. And and I'm like, toss me your shirt, bro. I'll hit it, you right? So he tossed me the shirt, and he's moving sporadically as the bug's trying to fuck with him, and so it's chasing him and like circling, orbiting Eman's body, trying to figure out a place to land and bite. And he's far enough to where I'm not really doing shit. I'm just like watching, like, oh, get it, oh shit, like the bug is like right there, and we gotta watch out, man. And so Eman gets pissed off, and he's like, give me the fucking shirt, man. You're not doing anything. So I'm like, shit, I gotta do something. So as he says that, the bug leaves the orbit of his body, and I swat the bug with the shirt. Eman visually sees the bug fly and hit the ground, and he runs over and immediately just stomps the ground and says, yeah, it landed somewhere right here. Fuck that bug. And he snatches his shirt back, and we end up hopefully killing the bug.
Hey, real quick, to not hop on a too long, bro.
That's probably the closest actually one to.
Okay, so it's just a form of black solitary wasp. Okay,
that's pretty
fucking
chill.
Gross. I didn't think it was a fucking wasp. But
it's pretty harassing, man.
It really was. It stuck with us the whole fucking time.
And I know you're about to get into it, but just to top that off, if I can, is what we really think and believe is that bug had a vendetta against Eman towards the first time it landed on him, because over the course of the first encounter we met with that bug and the last one, it was about 3 hours. So with that being said, we really feel like it was the same bug that was fucking around and following us the whole time and just keeping us. When they herd cows and shit.
Yeah, that was it. Just keeping it at a certain pace, right? Real quick, not hopping too long, bro. What? Tell them about my breakdown.
Oh, tell me.
So, let me say that. Don't look at Eman any differently, please.
Is this actually putting out a scent, bro?
Yes,
yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's epic.
Aromatherapy, dog.
Nature is one of the is if not the number one ruler of our planet. So she would domesticate anybody. With that being said,
the scariest shit is like forests and woods, like any place that's not inhabited by people,
right? And
fucking oceans, because you can't control those fucking things.
At all. We're not the food chain, top of the food chain.
Oh no, not it's fucking all. Anyway, but go ahead.
Yeah, I completely agree with that actually, and we got exposed. The nature exposed us a little bit, on this trip, man. And so we're on the last. So the last 2 trails we hiked, one was 2.97 miles and one was 1.11 miles, and it was called the Far Reaches Trail and the Recharge Trail. So the idea is the Far Reaches Trail has 2 scenic overlooks, which are parts where you can sit on a bench and see a nice view. Is the idea. Both views show the entire downtown. What do they call it? Skyline of San Antonio from the park, which is awesome because you're like 30 miles away.
Yeah.
So those are really good views, but the trail itself is 2.97 miles, and at this point we have been out of water for about 30 minutes to an hour, and so we're a little bit irritated, for sure. And we start getting down, and Eman once asked to check out the map, so I'm like, okay, here, check the map out, bro. Look at the map. I'm not knowing why. There's no explanation. I'm not gonna ask him, what do you need to look at the map for, right? So he gives the map back to me. Make it down about another 15-20 minutes or so. Hey man, let me see that map again, bro. Here you go. Here, take the map, man. And so he looks at the map, and then he starts using it for a shade, whatever the case is. That's what I thought he was using it for. I'm like, hey man, let me get that map back, bro. So I get the map back. Another 15-20 minutes. Hey man, can I see that map one more time, bro? Yeah, sure, man. Take a look at the map, bro. He takes a look at the map, gives it back to me, and so no big deal. And for a certain point in time, we were done conversating. At this point, we were just like fucking fed up. We wanted to get out of the park.
Shut the fuck up! Don't talk to me. I'm not gonna talk to you. We're getting out.
We ended the conversation with we sang "Ain't No Mountain High Enough," bro, to keep the spirit going.
True that, we did. Yeah, that was beautiful, man. I whistled it because I don't know the words, and Eman sang it. It was actually quite nice.
Had to keep the spirit alive.
I did. With that being said, to also end conversation, and what you had said, right? Shut the fuck up, right? In a nice way, Eman goes, let's just keep a pace, zone in, and just get going. It's like the nicest way of saying, stop fucking talking and just. No. It's okay.
You can tell us, man.
Yeah,
you
can
tell
us,
us,
bro. It's totally okay.
I would. I swear to God.
Because Eman tells me that all the time. He goes, He goes, hey man, I know we're sitting at IHOP and we're gonna get food. Why don't we just focus on what we're doing and get there, okay?
Weak as fucking menu, dog. I'm dyslexic. I need all the focus I can get.
And he
It's
goes,
just
"Ain't no
chill.
mountain high enough, right?" No.
Ain't no river wide enough.
Truly.
So whoop-de-doo, you know, we skip down a little bit down the trail, and you know, Eman starts getting pretty frustrated. Then at this point now he's got his shirt on top of his head, as you know, to protect himself from the sun. And you know, we're hiking down. You know, feet hurt. He's like, if I stop, man, my hamstrings gonna cramp up, bro. And there's no stopping here. Cause I was like, you want to rest? He's like, none of that. No, we just got to keep going. So then we get down a little bit, and you know, he goes, let me check that map, man. So we, you know, I give him the map. It's the fourth time I've given him the
deal
map.
with the map. You have a Dora the Explorer fetish. What's
So,
going on?
and so we get to, you know, we get to the point where the trail starts curving, right? It starts on the last bend to reach the recharge trail, which then takes us back to the parking lot. Well, you know, Eman's like, okay, all right, well, recharge trail. And he's like, well, how much do we got left? And I said, you know, about a mile, right? About a mile or so we got left. And he's like, all right. And, you know, I can't say that I'm not guilty, because a couple of times he asked me how much we had left. And for every 20 minutes, I'd still say, like, 2.9 miles, bro.
You keep saying 3 miles.
2.5, yeah.
Sometimes
like
he fucking add miles.
Yeah.
And mind you, he had been there before. Like, if it was fucking Eisenhower, I'm so familiar with Eisenhower.
Yeah.
If we get lost there, I know the landmarks. I know how long we're going to be in there. I know Eisenhower. I didn't fucking know this spot, and he was my guide, and he was giving me fucking, like, misinformation every time I asked. I'm already fucking dehydrated. I stopped sweating 3 hours ago. Now I'm just wiping off fucking salt, and I'm fucking wobbly. I'm like, yo, I don't want to fucking
anymore.
die. Yeah, bro.
Just fucking pissed. So we get down to the last we get down to where it says, okay, you are here, you finished you know, far reachers, we're starting recharge trail. And he's like, I was like, where are we at, bro? He like checks the map. He's like, it says we're at far reach, or we're at the recharge trail now. I give him the map. He looks at the map. I'm like, how much we got left, man? And I look, and he like just stares at me, bro. I look at the map, and I'm like 1.11 miles, bro. And he's like, and we just keep walking. So we keep going. And so then I hear nothing to say, bro. So then I just hear, and for the sake of the listeners, man, fuck. And I'm like, bro, what? What's up? You all right? No, man. What? There's no end. It doesn't seem like there's gonna be an end, man. And I start fucking laughing, bro, because I'm like, oh shit. So then I'm like, okay, well, what do we do? Because I've been in panic mode, you know, as we'll get into a little bit on hiking trails in a different state of mind. I've been in panic mode out there, so I know what that shit is like. So I'm like, look, man, it's okay, bro. Relax. You know, I was like, look, man, you got to calculate, you know, how long it takes to complete 1 mile walking. Like, you have to think about that. Because, you know, at a 10-minute mile pace, we do 3 miles in 30 minutes. But that's jogging, bro. Like, if you're walking, you're looking at like 15 minutes worth
Was
a
there
mile.
ever a moment where you went like, I'm just gonna fucking run? Did you ever think that up?
we actually did run a few times.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
and then
okay.
towards the end, I kept saying, dude, let's jog, and he's like, no, fuck that, man,
I have
fuck
nothing
that,
in me.
bro. We got no jogging capabilities left.
I had
So,
nothing in me.
but with that being said, Eman's like, you know, I'm like, hey man, we got like, you know, so 30 minutes per 10 miles. I was like, you know, or per 10 minutes a mile. I was like, we're doing 15 minutes a mile at least. So 45 minutes, give or take 5 minutes for our, like, you know, whatever. So 50 minutes to complete this trail, plus that last mile. Got about like an hour and 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And you know, of course, you know, and we just got to stay motivated. And so we get through, and then I'm really optimistic about this because you know, we need one person who's at least, you know, if there's two and one's like fucking fuck this, I'm done. You got to have the other guy who's like, no, it's cool, bro. We're chilling. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, because if not, then if we both get on that, man, fuck this, like, mentality, then we're screwed.
You're gonna die.
And unfortunately, we reached that point. About, well, you know,
Thank God it was the end.
Yeah, a 3/4 mile left, about maybe a half mile left, and at this point, even I'm like, holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
There's no shade for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We're in the beating ass sun. I mean, for the viewers, I'm just
sunburned.
ridiculously sunburned here.
He's fucking
it's
tore up.
awful, bro.
Yeah.
You know, my shit's burning. My
Well,
forehead
can I see again?
is toasted. Yeah, I'd probably have to pull
Yeah.
up
Just take the fucking shirt
Yeah,
off, bro.
yeah, no, perfect. Just
the
take-
back.
Yeah,
But,
definitely. Oh yeah.
Whoop,
Oh yeah, you're
Look at the
definitely
tat. Look
sunburned.
at the tat.
You see the?
Oh,
can you
yeah.
see the fucking?
Hey, look at the fucking
I almost
boulder
can't.
shoulder.
Can you like flex a little bit for me so
Dude,
I can see it a
he
little
needs
better?
some fucking medicated lotion. You
bro.
should rub some lotion on him, bro.
I can't.
But,
No, you don't have to.
I've been all over the
don't need to.
aloe vera recently.
We
But
lost it.
with that being said, we were pretty screwed at the end, and then we
Yeah.
meet this guy. His name's Andrew. Very British accent, very cool guy. He seemed very prepared, and we see this fucking like hook. It looks like a water spout in the middle of like of the side of the trail. I'm like, oh my god, there might be water out of there. Oh fuck, there's no knob. He's like, well, I think there is. So Eman goes and looks, and he's like fucking examining the. Gotta be water in here somewhere. So,
it's like the Book of Eli, like
type shit, bro. So Andrew
you're
goes,
putting gloves on the counter. 1 glass of water.
So Andrew goes, you looking for some water?
Right, just like that.
So
I was looking for some water, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it was really
Eman's
weird.
like, sir, yes. And I'm like, yeah, if you can spare some, And he's wearing a Camelback. So I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna drink out of this dude's Camelback. But then he goes and he sets his bag on the ground and opens his bag up. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's got water bottles. So he pulls out a canteen, he hands it to Eman, pulls out a canteen, he hands it to me. And sure enough, we open up our canteens and screw the tops off and look inside, it's a brown substance just fucking swishing around in there. I'm like, what is it? So I smell it and it smells like tea. I'm like, oh. So I go, oh, you got some tea? He goes, yeah, but it ain't that Texas tea. And so I'm like, well, all right, I'm gonna drink it. So I took Eman takes a swig, I waterfall swig myself. We give him back the tea and we thank you very much, Andrew, much obliged, appreciate you, sir. And we get about a few paces ahead of him, and Eman goes, doesn't tea actually like further dehydrate you? I was like, shit,
real
man.
quick, there's a story. Me and Eman one day, like we hadn't eaten anything all day.
Oh yeah.
And we were on the way home, and my family dropped by Whataburger, but we didn't want to get food for some reason. We just got some sweet teas.
Yeah.
So me and Eman both got a sweet tea. Went back to my house. We're just drinking the fuck out of these sweet teas, and all of a sudden, our stomachs felt like there were fire ants in them, or some shit. And like I went and I threw up, and Eman, and I was like, oh, I feel a lot better. And Eman was like, oh shit, like he's freaking out because tea is, I forgot what exactly kind of acid it is, but it attacks whatever's in your stomach. So like it'll get absorbed that way, and if there's nothing for it to absorb in, it just goes to your stomach lining.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that makes sense though because it has caffeine and it boosts his metabolism.
Right. Truly.
But it has more to do with the acid. I don't remember what kind of acid it is, but whatever acid it is affects like whatever's in your stomach.
It makes you flush water. The water you have in your system, you flush that shit out, dude. So I was like, I took a sip of the tea.
Me too.
Like,
I just
and I was thinking, Ethan, please don't chug this fucking tea, but I can't carry your big ass back to the parking lot.
Granted, it
but
actually was
something
tasty.
to kind of wet your whistle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that word for word what I said, right?
Yeah.
It was enough to wet the whistle, man. That's all we need. I shit you not, bro. That's awesome.
Thank you, Andrew.
So yeah, Andrew, shout out to you, man.
And then they finally got out, and like they walked by, like, oh, here's our car, and then you walked by like the person who started the park, and it was like, Andrew Bowers died like 1955.
And the fucking ghost. He did have a weird presence to him, right?
Yeah, he was off, man. But I think he himself was dehydrated, bro.
Yeah.
Because both those. My canister he gave me was like all the way lower than half empty. Okay, so he drank enough tea, and he was probably dehydrated.
But why is he drinking tea?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what. And of all people that we run into, is the fucking tea guy.
Yeah, but I heard some of that Texas tea. Okay.
So to cap off the hiking trip overall, we had two last points to hit. The last one was we came off in an encounter with two wasps where the wasp. I'm quite not phobic, but a little frightened, and it's a past thing because when I was younger I got stung in the eyelid by a yellow jacket by fucking with the hive. Now, with that being said, we had a old school Mexican standoff with.
Truly, I posted up and everything.
Yeah, I posted up. He was about 2 feet away from the red wasp, and the bottom line was the wasp wasn't budging. It was on the ground, walking back and forth across the path of the trail. And then, go ahead.
So we come to before this, we come to a junction, right? Mm-hmm. It's like a fork in the road, right?
Right.
You got one path this way, one path this way. This path is to wherever the fuck further out there in the fucking hills. This path is fucking home.
That's right.
Where do the fucking wasps want to congregate?
Of course.
Yeah.
Go figure. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, on the path to get home, and so he's walking far across the whole path. He's literally walking back and forth the whole path. This wasp. And I'm like, okay, well, what is what it is? I'm like, watch out, bro, because he might sting you. Eman's like, no, he's not gonna sting me, bro. It is what it is. I'm like, all right. And then here comes a second wasp from Eman's right side. I'm like, yo, watch out! There's another one, bro. He's coming for you. So then he looks to the side, there's another wasp, and so he takes off back he jumps back. The friend wasp who came took off. The one who was battling with us starts surrounding and circling Eman's fucking ankles, bro. And I'm like, oh shit. So we both take off, we run into each other and fucking go off in different ways, bro. And and then we just end up sprinting past the trail, make it past whatever the case is. We end up getting by. But that was our other encounter with the bugs. The last, not least. I was really fucking that one up. I was butchering that. Yeah, and with that being said, at the beginning of our hike, the very, very beginning, we meet the first trailhead, and there's a mom and
dying from that black wasp.
A woman and a child there giving out cold water. Hey guys, you need some water? Hey, you need some water? No, we got plenty in the bag. Don't worry about it. Give it to somebody who needs it. So we leave, and then we go, right? We take off. On the way out, this crosses my mind. I really should have taken that fucking water from that lady. And then 20 minutes after my thought process, I'm like, Eman, man, we really should have taken some water from those people. He's like, I thought the same fucking thing, man. So we're both pissed off at ourselves because we didn't take the water that was given to us or offered. So then we reach the end of the trail. We meet this little nice lady named Angie. She was really cool, Air Force lady. So we ended up seeing the end of the trail. We're like, oh, there it is. So we get there. The dude has a fucking ice cold canister of water. And we're like, sir, we hate to impose. Can we have some of that water? He's like, yeah, you boys got some containers? We pull fucking water bottles out. We fill them up. We hydrate. It's amazing. We hike the last quarter mile back to the car, get to the car. Trip is over. We had to, so over the entire time of the hike, we talked about getting lunch after. With about 3 hours left, we said, maybe not. First watch, we're not going to make it anymore. That's going to close by the time we get there. Okay, we'll go to Chili's and get some burgers. Fantastic. An hour left in the hike. I don't know if I can do a burger anymore, man. I'm pretty fucking exhausted. Yeah, me too, bro. So let's just go to Smoothie King or Jamba Juice. Fantastic. Just hydrate, right? The last 15 minutes, bro, I'm going home. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm fucking done.
Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck this trail.
So that was pretty much it, man. We ended up, heading out after that.
But you know what? It was a good experience though overall, right?
Absolutely.
True. Yeah.
Definitely. And it needed to be a good experience because Ethan.
Yeah.
You're about to transition into something. You're about to make a huge life decision. And once you're a woman, I still want you to be on the show. I want you to know that. No.
It was by far the hardest choice I ever made. Yeah. Me and Richard down there have had a lot of good times. And the bottom line is it's hard to let them go.
Have you named your dick?
Actually, I haven't.
You haven't? Have you named your dick?
No, I haven't.
I've named my dick.
What's the name?
I'd like to hear that.
I call him Little Buddy.
What the fuck?
Why call him Lil Man?
Not as
I've referred to him as Lil Man before.
Not as a reflection of size or anything, but just because I'm
relative to your body.
Mine's a reflection of size.
No.
Mine's a reflection of size.
Thanks,
I call mine Lil Man
but you know how Dr. Evil, his little dude is Mini Me.
Oh yeah.
That's like Little Buddy.
Little buddy. I'm gonna name my dick, dude. I don't know why you asked me the question, man. The first thing that came to mind was Tyrell. Tyrell, bro.
If you had to name your dick right now, what would your name for your dick be?
Lil E.
Lil E.
Oh, what the fuck you call me E, bro?
Lil E. Oh yeah. Why call?
I'm sorry. Okay.
Look,
E. Lil E. Littler E.
Oh.
Okay, Ethan. Yeah, it's funny because usually this never happens, but we are running low on time.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What do you got going on? What's this big thing that we've been hinting at the whole time during the podcast?
So I'll keep it brief for the sake of time. That way we can get into some other stuff that we really wanted to talk about. But I've made a pretty recent decision to everybody out there, whoever has any kind of skepticism towards this, reach out to these guys and they'll give you my contact information and we can talk about it. I decided to join the Navy. I decided to join the U.S. military, and
so you're gonna be a seaman.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. Well, actually, to be technical, I'm gonna be an airman because I'm in the Navy, which are seamen, but I'm. But
you didn't catch that the first time. That was the whole joke.
But I missed that punchline.
He didn't catch it, bro. That's why I was laughing because he just kept fucking going. He's like, actually, an airman, but I will be working alongside seamen. A lot of seamen, many seamen everywhere.
Covered.
So with that, well, I missed that one.
The boat is
pretty
covered
excited.
in semen.
But with that being said, I'm an aircraft technician, so I'll be working on helicopters and jets and cargo planes, such as any kind of aircraft that uses or utilizes an aircraft carrier. So they call me an airman. I'm part of the air crew. By far, one of the best jobs from what I've heard to be involved in the Navy. With that being said, I leave in 8 days, a week from tomorrow, which it would be Monday for those of you for relativity. But I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be a good transition. I've been doing a lot of things, as you can see. The hair is buzzed off here. Yeah. And with that being said, that's why I lost all the weight that I lost. And I'm pretty excited about it. So some of the other stuff we wanted to talk about was like my, what I saw the military as, what, the government,
versus
the U.S.
like
government.
now what you see it as going into it.
And for those of you who are anti-government and such like that, you'll find interest in stuff like this. So with that being said, I graduated high school in 2015 at the age of 17, and my only choices were play college football or join the military. And I went and played college football for a year, which was great. I stopped playing college football for a year. Got really into other things that interested me. I had a really good buddy who started doing a lot of psychedelics. They were really intense psychedelics as well. He did things like acid. He did things like shrooms. And if you know anything about doing psychedelics, it very much alters your perception of reality. It does a lot of different things for you and to you. With that being said, my buddy got so involved in them, and he was a very good friend of mine. So I was actually very believing and vulnerable and gullible to the ideas that he had proposed while he was on these types of drugs. And with that being said, he had convinced me that the military was run by reptiles, and that and they were all in a conspiracy and a part of an elite force to further invoke the extinction of the human race. With that being said, so I said, fuck that. I'm not joining the military because my buddy here on psychedelics says that it's a bad idea. With that being said,
cap met.
At that point, then my buddy stops doing psychedelics. I stopped hanging out with my buddy. I myself used to be a pot user. I stopped doing that. My perception then changed over time of what the military was, and there's a term that I listen to this guy named Sean Carroll. Shout out to Sean Carroll and the Sean Carroll Mindscape podcast. Yeah. That being said, he talks about this thing called cognitive dissonance, and it's the idea that the best way to put it is like in a smoker's point of view. Somebody smokes cigarettes, right? And the idea is that you're smoking cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes are bad, but you justify reasons to smoke the cigarettes.
Yeah. Same with alcohol.
I was gonna say the same thing as we drink wine. So the biggest thing is that.
Or as I drink an energy drink that I know is killing me, and in my head I'm like, but it's gonna help me get through the podcast.
And that's exactly cognitive dissonance right there. So with that being said, knowing the military is actually not such a bad thing, because it can do a lot for you as far as you set up medical benefits for yourself. If you're in Texas, your kids go to school for free. It sets a foundation. You get a lot of things paid for, housing, food, things like that. With that being said, which are all reasons, other reasons why I'm joining. But with that being said, you tell yourself, I'm not joining the military because everybody in there is, they're all mind washed or brainwashed, mind zombies to the greater power that is trying to, control the paradigm of our reality, whatever the case is. With that being said, after I went sober, with the exception of alcohol, obviously, I decided that it actually wasn't such a bad idea. I went and played college football for a year. That didn't work out for me. I didn't like the politics of football on the collegiate level. I went and did school by itself for a year. I didn't like that very much. Then I went to work and did school for a year at the same time, and I didn't like that very much either. So here we are, 3 years down the line, and we've tried, I've tried many paths here besides like just straight up entrepreneurship. And now I'm deciding to join the Navy, and it ended up working out pretty well because I've always wanted to be somebody who worked on aircrafts. To be honest with you, it went from like being rockets to jets and helicopters and stuff like that, and now I get the opportunity to. So it worked out pretty good. But that's kind of what we've been talking about. We've kind of the big secret we've been keeping from everybody throughout the going of this podcast was that I'm joining the military. It's why I buzz my head. It's why I'm going to transfer to a female It's for the most part one of the major reasons why
the cancer's not getting to you.
Yeah, so it's just keeping me going and things like that. We're just totally kidding about being transferred to a female. All you beautiful ladies out there.
Not the cancer part.
Yeah, not the cancer part.
Feel free to contact me in the comments.
He's
here.
more worried
I'm
about
leaving this in
getting
a
pussy
week.
than he is about people not
truly.
knowing he's gonna die.
Truly.
Yeah. With that being said, that's kind of the big thing is Ethan's joining the Navy. So,
Definitely.
But again, really quick, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Again, if any of you want to talk about joining the military and you have skepticism about joining the military, any branch of the military, let me know. Let these guys know. Get on the comments. Reach out to us. I will give you all the advice you need. We can write letters back and forth while I'm in boot camp, whatever the case may be. I'll help you guys out, give you some advice. Coming from somebody, I didn't really get into it, but again, I was completely anti-military, anti-government, and now I realize it's the best decision that I'm making at the age of 21. So just, reach out to us because we're here for you.
So I had this question for you, Ethan. Or I had a few questions, but lifestyle-wise, are you worried about the lifestyle change from what you're used to now joining the military?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Is that not something you've thought about?
It is. No, it
Oh,
is.
okay.
And that's why it's such a good question. Because that's probably
what the fuck?
That's the number one thing you think about when you join the military is like, holy shit, I have to answer to these individuals. I'm going, on 3 years
You're
now.
like uprooting yourself, and you have to be sent somewhere else, and
you're giving up your entire way of life and everything basically to relearn a new society and way of living and a standard that you hold yourself to.
And also, not to make this sound really bad, but some people go into it with a family or they're married or anything. You are currently a lone wolf. You're doing this by yourself. Is that more intimidating at all?
If anything, it's actually more exciting for me. I'm a very optimistic person as I can be. So I'll answer both questions. The first question, as far as the way of life and living goes, it's gonna be okay. I'm not too worried about it because the bottom line is the way I see it as a test. It's like, look, Ethan, if you can go through mentally disciplining yourself enough to take shit from all these individuals who have earned their spots above you. Granted, on the civilian world, I'm taking shit from people who are below me in the food chain. If we were civilians, but because we're in the military, they've served enough and done enough to earn their positions and rights in the positions that they hold. That being said, you have to learn how to give other people respect. You know what I mean? So my uncle, who's a Marine, puts it in a very good perspective. It's you join the military and two things happen. You either completely or for two reasons. You join the military to humble yourself and provide a better life for you and your future family, or you join the military to wear the uniform. To walk around and say, I'm in the military, I get treated better because I'm in the military,
right.
Whatever the case may be. I very much am a humble person at heart, so I think that what I'm doing is going to humble me. I don't agree with the public educational system in the U.S. Alone, so this is going to be nice to have my school paid for. You know what I mean? So
because you still do continue school.
Exactly. While I'm in, maybe not, but when I get out, at least I'll have that opportunity to.
Yes,
Okay. I'll have all the medical. I don't have insurance at 21. My parents were a very poor family, so I lost insurance at the age of 18 when I went to college. So that being said, it's given me an opportunity to go to the dentist when I need to, get new glasses when I need to, get my wisdom teeth out, surgery, whatever the case may be. It's now covered by the military. For what? For me to serve and get trained on how to work on computing systems and aircrafts. I think that's a pretty good trade-off, With that being said, you also got to be sober. I mean, you can drink alcohol. I mean, the liquor stores are open 24 hours on base. So how cool is that? I don't pay taxes on groceries and shit like that, which is nice too. Those are just small benefits. Nothing why I joined the military though. But with that being said, to answer your second question, which was what?
It was the lifestyle change, and then are you more concerned that you're doing it alone? Is that what it was?
Oh, thank you. Yes, that was that. So the lifestyle change, I kind of covered that. It's just it's you. So to top that one off, before I get into doing it alone, you have a certain amount of time you're gifted on this planet. So with that time, do you want to? How do you say this? So I heard this quote one time. I can't remember who put it this way, but the quote is, "It's better to have tried and failed than to have fear trying." Or to feel failing so you don't try. In other words, so I'll repeat that because I butchered it. So basically, you don't fear the failure that could come from trying out something so much to where you actually never try it out. You know what I mean? Because at least I've tried college football and then didn't realize it wasn't for me, failed or whatever.
Like it's better to fail than to not even try.
Absolutely, because then you gain the experience from it, you know? So with that being said, it's a 4-year term at the minimum, you know, so at least I've, you know, in 4 years I'll be 25. It'll be plenty of time, so I'm totally okay with that.
But also, like, you're setting up a career for yourself. You're doing all these other things.
Exactly.
I mean, and not just that, but you have the opportunity to learn a trade that hopefully you can use in a civilian capacity, and then you also, I would like to think, at some level, you're doing something that's helping the people in the country. Whether that's protection, whether that's, you know, just in that, just serving your country.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, last time I was on the podcast, I was talking about my buddy who I was going to go and join his business with him, and then decided not to actually on the podcast here. We talked about it. So again, I'm giving him, so fuck him once again, giving him an opportunity to follow through with his entrepreneurship that he wants to do in his business that he's doing out there with pest control. Yeah. If it weren't for me doing what I was doing, he wouldn't be able to have the opportunity of, you know, the freedom that he has to pursue his dreams, you know. So again, piece it up to him. Just kidding. But to answer your second question, no, it's actually, in my opinion, better to do it the way I'm doing it. If I was 26 and I had a family, you know, so to put it in perspective, my uncle was 23 I think 22 or 23 when he joined, and he was just having his second kid, and he was married and he lived in an apartment, and he said the only way the next step is like you got to figure something out. So he joined the Marines, signed a 6-year contract, found a better life for him and his family. Now he's got his second house that he's paying off to own, and he's got 3 cars, and he's living a fantastic life. That being said, me as an individual, I'm joining the Navy, so I'm going to be on a ship for a long time. I'm away from my family for a long time. I find it better that I'm single. I have no obligations. I have no dependents. I have nothing to worry about. So let's just say, you know, for circumstantially speaking, I join, they station me in Japan. I fall in love with it, you know, and I'm out there for 3 years. I ended up finishing my term out there. If I really wanted to, I could move into Japan. Yeah.
Get yourself one of them Japanese honeys out there.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? One of them lady boys. Hey. I'm just kidding. Move out to Thailand like Jason Statham in the Megalodon. But spoilers, dude. But with that being said, no. But the bottom line is, yeah. So like I was saying, sorry, I joke a lot about that. With that being said, moving out to anywhere, and I have no obligation to anything. I can move to Germany, and I'm covered. I can live on a base out there if I wanted to. I can, and again, to get back to that, that's pretty much that one for the solo dolo deal. But again, yes, I am learning a trade. Like being an aircraft electrician technician is awesome, because if I wanted to, take Elon Musk for our generation, right? He's building rockets and he's launching cars into fucking outer space. If he needed somebody to work on the electrical components of his rocket, I now have the training and compliance to work under him on his rockets. Definitely. Because not only am I learning how to work on these electrical computing systems, but I also have the credibility have served in the military for a certain amount of time, which is equivalent to at least a bachelor's to a master's, depending on how much I served, and I could get hired off of one of these jobs. I want
to ask you this, man. So you're joining the Navy, and regardless of how you want to look at it, this is going to be an experience that alters your life, right? Good or bad, up to you. Knowing you, I think it's going to be a great decision to make, right? But regardless, it's going to be a huge change, a huge perspective shift, right? And every time that I've undergone a change like that, you begin to notice that the bigger your problems are, the more your perspective shifts about everyday life, right? And you find that things that really were constantly on a hamster wheel in your mind before, that you constantly thought about, no longer matter. So, like, what's been something that you thought really fucking mattered, but after an experience like this, you find that, wait, shit doesn't matter. What am I worrying about? Like,
that's a good point. You can even take our hike, for example. You know what I mean? Something you're stressed out about, right?
Yeah.
And then you finish a 21-mile hike, and you're like, holy shit. I did that with, 20 ounces of water, and at the end of the day, it's like, man, there's people in starving countries that don't get anything, the opportunities I get, From
my house to the fucking Pearls where you walked. But anyway.
Yeah. Out here,
like
Highway
151. Past downtown.
Yeah, Highway 151 in 1604 in San Antonio, Texas, to the Pearl Brewery in San Antonio, Texas. Map that out, 20 miles, and we walked.
That's 20 miles. We did a mile past that. Anyway,
so that being said, no. To answer his question, no cap. But with that being said, something that's really seemed less worrisome. Okay, so when I was a person who did partake in smoking weed often, right? It was like a daily thing for me back in 2016. With that being said, as I decided to join the military and decided this was going to be a passion for me, doing things like that seemed less important to me. Well, I'll tell you what. So I want to be an artist. So a good friend of mine, this guy here, Joker on that poster over there, once said something in a movie where if you could snap your fingers and make it happen, immediately, what would it be? And I had two choices. It was become a Navy SEAL or become like an artist. I go to art school and become an artist. And I'd snap my fingers 100 times in a row to become an artist over becoming a Navy SEAL or anything else in the world. So that being said, it's brought patience onto me and it made me realize that if I really want to become an artist, nothing else matters now besides what it takes to become that artist, right? So to put that in a better perspective, to answer the exact question, it's like now I'm trying to, before I was trying to save up money. I worked serving jobs. I worked at the vitamin shop. I worked at Best Buy doing sales, doing everything I can to save up to buy music equipment. They call them beat machines, synthesizers, a computer, headphones, a microphone, things to make me produce music and then, produce songs. That was my ultimate goal. But every time it came to the point where I had $400, extra $500 to spend on that equipment, something in my life came up. I had to spend money on my car. Something came up. Oh, I got a fucking ticket. I gotta pay this ticket off now. Whatever the case was, something always came up where it was right when I got to the point where I could buy something for that. So, and that was my ultimate thing was, I wanted to pursue myself entrepreneurship and like an artist career. That itself has seemed less important to me currently. It's still as important as it was when I first decided to do it, but now deciding to join the military, it's shown me that you can still do anything you want to do. You just have to put everything in order and a plan. You know what I mean? Like my dream is to become an artist, right? A renowned one, not just like an artist. Anybody can become an artist, but I want to become an artist that's known and renowned and respected across the the nations. Truly. But with that being said, you have to have patience to get there, and you got to be doing it for the right reasons. There can't be a part. I can't lie and say there's not been a part of me that said I was doing it for the fame. Now that I'm joining the military, I think that's going to humble me enough to do it just to do it as an expression of myself.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone, not only like financially, so you can do it comfortably and get there, but also like spiritually and everything, so you can get to that point where when you do it, it's not just I have the money to do it, it's I'm fully prepared to do that.
Precisely.
Definitely.
I'd say that's an awesome way to put it.
Definitely. I guess that's a perfect place to kind of start wrapping us up here. Ethan, I wish you the best of luck, man, and all the shit that you're doing. I hope you do it. I hope it works out for you. I hope you get your Japanese honey. Your what did he call it?
Ladyboy.
Ladyboy. I hope you get your Ladyboy.
I have to move to Thailand for that.
Okay, I hope you move to Thailand. I hope you get your Ladyboy. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in to this amazing episode of Break Time. Ethan, thank you very much for being on. It's always fucking great to have you on. Is there anything you'd like to say, like any closing thoughts, anything you want to leave our viewers with before we end out?
Absolutely, actually. To you guys, to myself, to my family, to everybody out there, you have to understand that, so much like a psychedelic trip, for those of you who ever want to get into it, life is going to take you through peaks and through valleys in every situation that you're going to come across and involve yourself in. With that being said, you have to know your lows in order to handle your highs, and you have to know your highs to handle your lows. But you just have to have faith in everything that you do, because whether you're at the highest point, you have to know that at some point it's going to end. It's not forever. And at some point when you're at your lowest, you have to understand that it's not forever and it's going to end. And whatever that case is, it's gonna take you around looped and looped after loop. But as long as you stay true to yourself, true to your core values, through those ups and through those downs, that's when you're going to learn the most about yourself. And essentially speaking, it's going to teach you how to handle and utilize those ups and downs as best you can. And those downs won't seem so bad, and you'll be a lot more humble at the top when you reach those peaks. But with that being said, just stay true to yourself, stay faithful, and again, reach out to us on the comments if you need anything. These guys are great guys. Thanks again for having me. This is probably gonna be the last time I'm gonna get to the opportunity to be on this podcast in a long time.
I think we can do a call-in. Like, I know, like, for a little bit, there's a point where, like, you can't have your phone and shit.
Right.
I think, like, it would be great, like, once you go through that and you have it, reach out to Eman or something, and we can just get you, like, on a call-in briefly on the podcast to see what's going on with you.
I mean, this is not the end of the road.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be fucking great.
So, again, I just want to say graciousness to these guys here. I want to say thank you guys all for who watches these guys. Stay true to these guys. I know at the beginning they talked about, you know, they want to do some things. They've had a short drop-off in some time, but stay faithful to these guys. Stay faithful to yourselves. Stay true to everybody who you love. And as long as you do everything that you do with love, everything's going to be okay. Stay positive. Reach out to us if you need it. Thank you.
Fuck yeah. Eman, is there anything you want to say before we end out this episode of Break Time?
Ethan, you're a bad motherfucker, man. I've been your brother for a year now. I've seen you through different forms of Ethan. We've been in the trenches, man. We've been in the fucking trenches. I've seen a lot of perspective shifts. I'm sure you've seen that in me myself. I gotta say, dog, we say it a lot, bro, but I fucking love you, man. You're my dude,
too,
my fucking brother. I know whatever you do, man, you're gonna be fucking badass at it because that's just your personality and that's something you got going on at base level, man. So take that applied energy, dude, and fucking dominate the world, bro. Knock on wood, man. If we never talk again, I know I'm gonna see you in the fucking news doing some extraordinary shit or in an article in Time magazine.
True,
I'm gonna cover that bitch because that's who you are, bro. So I fucking love you, dog.
It's knocking on wood.
Knocking on wood. There we go. I love you, man. It's been a fun podcast as expected. Yeah, that's where I'm at, bro.
Hell yeah. And guys, again, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode. And we'll catch Ethan later. And then we'll also catch you on the next episode of Break Time.
Yeah.